to. All right, so for this part of the review, we want to solve for x here. We have r is equal to x over 4 plus y fifths. And I want to show two methods here. And again, there's more than one way to solve these problems. And then I'll show method two. So method one, probably the best, which is this is like my go-to when it comes to rational equations. Remember, rational just means you can write it as in fraction form. That's all that's saying. Okay, rational equations. So we want to solve for x. So I want the LCD. Okay. So what's the LCD here? What's our LCD? Perfect, 20, right? If you don't remember, if you doubt, just multiply the bottom of the two in the bottom. Okay. So you got 20. So I'm going to multiply everything by 20. Again, why are we doing that? Because we don't like fractions. So we want to get rid of the denominators. All right. So we're going to have 20r and then 20. I'll just rewrite this as 20x over 4 and then 20y over 5. Okay. So we have 20r. 20 divided by 4 is going to give us 5. So that's 5x. And 20 divided by 4 is going to give us, sorry, 20 divided by 5 is going to give us 4. So that'll be 4y. Okay. All right. Then again, I want to get x by itself. So I need to subtract 4y, right? So we get 20r minus 4y equals 5x. Okay, what's our last step? Exactly, divide. So we're going to divide both sides by 5. This is a y there. Okay, so that's gone. So our answer is going to be 20r minus 4y over 5. Okay, so that's method one. That's like my go-to method. Method two, um, another way we can write this is we have r is equal to x over 4 plus 5 plus y over 5. Okay, so we can subtract both sides by over 5. So r minus y over 5 minus y over 5. So we have r minus y over 5. So there we go. Let me rewrite that. R minus y over 5. There we go. All right, and then these guys are going to cancel. Okay, and so then we're left with x over 4. Okay, so then what's our last step here? Or maybe second to the last step. Remember, our goal is to get x by itself. So how do we do that? Exactly, you need to multiply. So we're going to multiply this by 4 and then multiply this whole thing by 4. Okay? And then we're going to distribute that. So we're going to have 4y minus 4y over 5 equals x because the 4's will cancel. All right, I still have a denominator there. Do I need to continue? Do I need to keep solving this? Is it already solved? It is, right? It's already solved, right? Because we wanted x by itself, solve for x. That's what we did. So this is our answer here. So remember I said this is so again, these are the same thing. They look different right now, but if I just take one more step, this is saying 20r over 5 minus 4y over 5, which is 20 divided by 5 is 4r minus 4y over 5. Okay. So they're exactly the same thing. Okay, but again on the test, I'll accept both. All right, it says here two people are mowing a lawn. The first person has a riding mower and can mow 4/3 acres per hour. The second person has a push mower and can mow 1/4 acre per hour. A, write a simplified expression that gives the total number of acres that the two people mow in X hours. And B, find the total acreage that they can mow in an 8-hour workday. Okay, so for part A, we need to write a representation of what the paragraph is saying. Okay, so for A, all right, it tells us that, and it says, let the two people mow in X hours. Okay, so we're going to use the variable X. So it tells us that the first person can mow 4/3 acres per hour. Okay, so how can we represent that? How can we translate that? What would that be? So if I was making, say, $25 per hour, how would I represent that? So if I worked 3 hours and I made $25 an hour, how much did I make in those 3 hours? So yeah, if I'm making $25 an hour, how can I represent that? And to make a concrete example, if I work 3 hours, what's the total amount I made within those 3 hours if I made 25 an hour? Yes, thank you. 25x, right? I would be 25x. Okay, I make $25 an hour. X represents how many hours I work. So 25 times 3 gives us $75, right? So it's the same thing for this. Okay, so we can represent this, the 4/3 acres per hour, as 4/3 times X. That's it. Okay, so and that's the first part. The second part says the second person has a push mower and can do it for a fourth of an acre per hour. So how can I represent that? Exactly. It'll be 1/4 of X. So plus 1/4 X, right? Because they just want us to write an expression. Remember, that's different from an equation. Equation means equals something, right? So it just says write an expression. That's our expression. Expression. Okay. All right, and then we can um it says write a simplified expression, so we can put this together. Okay. So what's are going to be our LCD here? 12. Good. Okay, so I'm going to multiply this by, again, this is an expression. I'm not solving anything, so I don't want to get rid of the denominator. That's the difference. I am rewriting this to simplify it. I'm not rewriting this to solve for x. Okay, I'm not trying to get rid of the denominator. So I want to keep the denominator here. So I'm going to multiply this by 4 over 4. 4 over 4, and then multiply this by 3 over 3. Okay, so that's going to give me 16 over 12x plus 3 over 12x. Okay, because again, I'm simplifying, I'm not solving, I'm simplifying. Then they have the same, that as long as these guys are the same, then we're good. All right, so 16 plus 3, that's going to give us 1912x. So that's going to be our expression for part A. Okay, and then for part B, it says find the total acreage that they can mow in an 8-work-hour day, like the one I just said, my previous example. All right, about the salary or how much I was making an hour, I can just plug this in to my formula here. Okay. So we had 1912x. So that's going to be 1912 times that by 8 hours. Okay. So 19 times 8, because this is 19 times 8 divided by 12. So 19 times 8 is 152 divided by 12. Okay. And then I can reduce this. They both can divide into 4. Okay. So we get 38 on top and then 3 on the bottom. All right, so 38 over 3 or 12 and 2/3 of an acre. So got the 12 and 2/3 by just dividing it. So just do long division here. And by doing this long division, I was able to get the 12 and 2/3. Okay, for this one, it says a wire is 7 and 4/5 feet long and is to be cut into 3 equal parts. how long should each part be? Okay, so if we didn't have fraction, you would, we just divide them, right? So if I had, say, 12 feet long and we wanted to three equal parts, right? Divide into three equal parts, but we would just divide by three, and then each part would be four, right? Four, four, four. Because when you add those up, you would get 12, correct? So we're going to do exactly the same thing for this one. Okay, so we're going to have 7 and 4/5 divided by 3. Okay, but before we try to divide by 3, we need to rewrite this 7 4/5. Okay, so remember to rewrite it in, this is a proper fraction. We want an improper fraction. We want to multiply these together and then add these together. So that's going to give us 5 times 7 plus 4. Okay, so that's going to be 35 plus 4 is going to give us 39. Okay, so that'd be 39 over 5. Okay, and this is being divided by 3. So when we have this, we just need to change the division to multiplication, and then we would change the 3 into a fraction. Okay, all right. So then we multiply directly across. So that gives us 39 over 15. Okay. It looks like I can divide 3 into each one. Anyway, so 3, 3, there we go. So 39 divided by 3 is going to give me 13. And then 15 divided by 3 is going to give us 5. Okay. So we have 13 over 5, or again, I can divide this. So I know 2 times 5 is 10 minus 3. So that will give us 2 and 3/5. So this would be 2 and 3/5 feet.